The 2000s are officially back, and I'm not talking about Y2K fashion or Gen Z nostalgia. After 13 long years since its 5th installment, Scary Movie is coming back, baby! The return of the franchise with Scary Movie 6, scheduled to release initially next week on June 12, 2026, but with an overwhelming response for the trailer, it was moved to theaters today. Marks a significant nostalgic comeback. Bring back original stars Regina Hall as Brenda Meeks, and Anna Faris as Cindy Campbell.
Where are you? Check the music room.
Notably missing from the 5th installment in 2013. Oh yeah, and Shorty's back. 25 years since Marlon Wayans last played Shorty Meeks in Scary Movie 2, he's now reprising the iconic role alongside his co-creator, older brother, Shawn Wayans. Titled just Scary Movie, if it were any other franchise, this would likely be a cash grab reboot reimagining the original story that captured audiences' hearts all those years ago.
Yes, I can tell you for a fact that Shinigami do exist.
Though, if this is like any other scary movie from the franchise in the 2000s and early 2010s,
or here eating my falafel and my pork rinds.
The title itself is probably used to mock Hollywood's obsession with legacy sequels. Scary Movie 2026 is positioned as a reboot by its creators, the Wayans brothers, that aims to satirize modern horror while reviving the raunchy, no-holds-barred comedy style of the early 2000s.
Get up, you little ugly bitch. Come on, let me see what you got. What you going to? That's all.
Here it comes!
The return of the Wayans flavor
Shorty's exactly the way he been, son. Snap, son.
is something the franchise has desperately needed ever since its 3rd movie. After an 18-year absence, Shawn and Marlon Wayans are returning to write and produce.
Make people laugh, and I think right now the world needs a big laugh.
Marlon has even emphasized that the goal is to cancel the cancel culture by ensuring the film is an equal opportunity offender, targeting all generations and cultural trends without fear.
Santa gave me a severed arm. Be sure to thank him.
So just about everything Scary Movie has done the last 2.5 decades, if you don't count anything in the 2010s.
Down first, homie. Out on 3. 1, 2, 3. Damn. You want to try it again? Sure. 1, 2, 3.
With this kind of track record, it amazes me that people are actually falling for this clear marketing play.
Man, we could do this shit all day.
With quick outrage, I might add. The timeline goes. The Scary Movie trailer drops, with a mid at best pronoun joke towards the end, if you're basing off joke offensiveness.
Not her. My pronouns are they, them. He stabbed them.
Somebody on Twitter starts the outrage bandwagon, which conveniently goes viral. And the original tweet, having been since deleted, makes me think more and more that this might have been a studio-led effort to promote the new movie. Evidently so, headlines emerged and discourse followed around not only the new reboot,
Isn't that Gwyneth Paltrow crap that makes you smell like revenge, is it?
but fervor for each and every scary movie in the franchise. Following the trailer drop for the new release, the first 5 Scary Movie films have been prominently featured and highly streamed on Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime Video. Even as far out as late March, Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2 both appearing in top streaming charts. 24 hours later, the trailer had millions of views by itself and a release date that people have genuinely circled on their calendars.
You look like should we have?
A small but vocal group are legitimately bothered, and they've expressed their discern for this and other comedic projects over the years.
This is Dave. He tells jokes for a living.
A larger group are people performing being bothered since it fits their tweeting brand.
So 7 days to this very hour? My watch broke. How am I going to know the exact hour?
Forget hours.
And the next are people who watched the trailer, laughed at the shovel bit, and went to bed. The overwhelming majority, however, are the people who saw the online discourse And because of that, watch the trailer and are now going to see the film in theaters. Marketing. It ain't pretty, but it's effective. This is a film that in its original form had Anna Faris beaten senseless. And another character strangled with their own intestines. And we're still debating whether or not a used up pronoun joke was too far.
Suck on this.
Any fan of Scary Movie can tell you that outrage is its own punchline.
Lunch is not a class, Shorty.
It is when you got the munchies.
Writers are definitively laughing themselves to the bank.
Hello, Cindy.
As a franchise built entirely on puncturing cultural self-seriousness, Scary Movie is doing exactly what it has been doing.
Oh, that jacket is tight. Now run that shit, bitch. Yummy.
And people online are still acting shocked that they are. The Scary Movie franchise is built on a foundation of rapid-fire, often crude parody, famous for its irreverent humor, gross-out gags, and successfully breaking the fourth wall.
I can't read that.
The movie series is widely considered one of the best horror comedy films, perfectly capturing the cultural zeitgeist of the early 2000s. Turning the slasher genre over on its head time after time through sharp, disrespectful satire. Not only serving as a nostalgic time capsule, balancing slapstick humor, raunchy relevant gags,
Cindy?
Shorty, are you okay? Talk to me. Morphine? Chloroform? Horse tranquilizers? You drugged him!
I did not. That's all his stuff.
and affectionate nods to horror staples. But the Scary Movie franchise holds a significant, albeit polarizing, place in film history as a premier homage-centric series grossing over $900 million worldwide throughout its first 13 years and defining early 2000s comedy. While often dismissed by critics, the franchise serves as a cultural repository that introduced a generation to classic horror tropes via a safer comedic environment. As we all know, there's friends who, for the life of them, can't bear to sit down for a 90-minute scary movie. Scary Movie provided that risk-free entry point into the horror genre for so many fans. Despite arguable uneven quality after the departure of the Wayans brothers, the films acted as a gateway for non-horror fans, introducing them to classic iconography from the best of the genre. The first Scary Movie was a direct parody of Wes Craven's Scream, a textbook pick for any horror fan's top 10 list, with many critics noting that it often replicated scenes almost shot for shot.
We could go band for band, we can go M for M. What a mill for the Maybach truck, double R with the factory rims.
While fans respond that it brought a fresh twist to the story and concept, stretching fair use at the time, while also creating a genuinely enticing new take on our quintessential slasher film.
Hello?
The franchise marked a shift away from traditional subtle parody like with Mel Brooks films.
Back from Venice, and boy, are my arms tired. Let me tell you about Venice. Venice is a very old city.
Towards broad, often mean-spirited slapstick comedy suitable for the newer age.
When I went in there, I guess it was gone.
Scary Movie's cultural significance is undeniable. Being so close to the source of 2000s culture, there's so many references that we know of or not.
Shorty, who's ready for the main course?
Me.
Oh, answer, please. No.
What the f?
Beef juice in the house. This is your brains on drugs.
That are either from or hit by the movie series. Whether it be the 99 Budweiser.
Hello?
Hey, who? What's up?
Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you?
Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud.
True.
What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that?
Commercial.
Yo.
Hello, Shorty. What are you doing?
Nothing. Sitting here watching the game.
Are you all alone? What's up? What's up? What's up? Who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
What's up? What's up?
Cindy and Bobby's steamy scene.
So, here we are.
A direct parody of 1999's American Pie.
Go, Trey boy. It's your birthday.
Slow-mo bullet fight scene, like...
Hold on a second. Just give me a moment. One. Oh, yeah. That's it. Okay.
the same year as The Matrix. Even Shaq's Kazam from '96.
I don't understand.
And Shorty's "I see dead people" line.
Sure, man.
I see dead people.
A call to The Sixth Sense, also from '99. Man, that was the year for horror, huh?
Psst. I see dead people. Hey, come on. Let's see where my dad keeps his gun. Come on.
What's the password?
I see dead people.
Today, the same line comes right before. And that's just from the first movie. There are at least dozens of archetypal horror and cultural references disseminated across all 5 movies so far, which we'll save for later.
Woo, okay.
The movies offered a meta-acknowledgement of the era's pop culture,
He's on.
It's gonna be the best night ever.
He just won.
including the casting of older, mature actors to play teens. A common trope in 90s and 2000s horror and young adult movies, which has clearly leaked into our modern day IPs. The first 2 films, with fans arguing encompassing the full Wayans vision, were directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans and written by his younger brothers, Sean and Marlon Wayans, who, according to a Variety interview with Marlon and Anna Faris, faced a frightening experience working with the Weinsteins, with Marlon being fired from Scary Movie 3 altogether.
I'm gonna have to drink on this, man. You know, talk about now. I see you waited for 4 shots in before you start getting juicy.
Evolution of the series following the departure of the Wayans brothers goes as such. Scary Movie was taken over by David Zucker.
We get the question, could you do Airplane today? The first thing I could think of was sure, just without the jokes.
Shifting the tone towards more slapstick humor and away from the original satirical focus. To the point where 2 of its legacy stars, Anna Faris and Regina Hall, both had also departed from the series by the time the 5th installment had rolled around. So the returns with Scary Movie 6 has many fans hoping for the revival of that same energy.
She's alive! Brenda!
Do it!
Brenda!
She's dead!
No! We won't lose you again! No! Something!
I've seen this all before. Nah, it was in this movie Scream. Same dialogue and everything.
Scary Movie 2026, or Scary Movie 6, to fans marks a significant moment in pop culture nostalgia.
Sink into the chair.
This time around, directed by Michael Tides, the return to raw parody. The film intends to resurrect the high-energy, unrestricted approach of the original 2 movies, which frequently pushed boundaries and thrived on outrageous humor. Returning to the franchise for the first time in 18 years, the Wayans brothers aims to bring back a raw, fearless comedy. Scary Movie 6 focuses on parodying modern horror hits of the last few years. Movies like Get Out.
His dog got really sick.
Nope. Long Legs. Heretic.
It is all terrifying.
Sinners. Man Smile. All box office giants for their respective years.
So he has to be at the vet first thing.
The announcement of the film has generated mixed reactions, with some praising the return to dumb comedy and others questioning if the 2000s era humor will even resonate today. Marlon Wayans has stated to Variety that the goal is to make a conversation piece that allows for 3 generations of people to sit down and laugh together. Scary Movie 6 looks to tackle what it calls elevated horror, while poking fun at the slow burn trauma of modern AAA films. The film represents an effort to bring back the unapologetically raw and goofy style of comedy and parody alike. Unlike later spoofs that relied solely on disconnected references, the original Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2 used a coherent, well-structured plot that directly parodied specific popular horror films, combining decisive parody with gross-out comedy. The first 2 films established a unique voice that was stupidly brilliant, as stated by the community. A cultural event that redefined horror spoofs, spawning its own niche subgenre. Our rated R Fantastic Four are widely touted as the heart and soul of the franchise, delivering a perfect mix of charm and absurdity that anchored the abundant chaos. Despite its shenanigans, the first films created a world where characters acted in a way that felt consistent within their own bizarre context, ingraining itself as cult classic. While the David Zucker era shifted towards a more absurdity-heavy style that, though many still found equally hilarious, evidently lost the spark for many that the first 2 had instilled. The franchise delivers what it promises: automatic jokes, pop cultural nods, and a non-serious fun atmosphere meant for viewing with friends. The film's secular humor, especially scenes like Brenda versus the movie screen, has made the series heavily memed and infinitely rewatchable. Ultimately, while critical reception had dropped in later installments, especially with Scary Movie 5, the franchise is lauded for its boundaries-free approach to comedy, often described as a guilty pleasure that carved out a legacy for itself in the comedic and horror spheres. While some critics describe the efforts of the new Scary Movie as tone-deaf to the modern social landscape, fans and the creators defend the approach as a return to the franchise's and 2000s culture's chaotic roots. Wayans even stated himself that the goals of this film is to make everybody laugh equally, including people who are uncomfortable with being laughed at. That is the Scary Movie formula after all, ever since its first release. The original film made fun of everyone, including and definitely not limited to the kind of people who would make a film like the original Scary Movie. Its self-awareness is literally baked in. Just ask Shorty. Marlon said he wanted the film to work for both old heads and the new school. And the trailer backs that up, with Kai Cenat pulling up alongside our OG squad. The new generation of characters is specifically designed to butt heads with the returning cast in ways that should garner genuine comedic friction, rather than just hitting young people with a bombastic side-eye.
Criminal offensive side-eye.
The franchise has always had exactly one principle in mind. Nobody is safe. Nothing is sacred. And if you take yourself too seriously, a joke's coming for you. Scary Movie 6 focuses on multi-generational significance to bring back communal loud laughter to theaters. Because, as the tagline suggests, every line will be crossed.
Okay, you want a piece of me? Huh? Yeah. How do you like that, little pussy? Come on. Yeah, come on.
I learned something very important in college: the value of books. Free papers.
Scary Movie thrives on parodying horror staples through absurd, zany meta commentary, from the in-theater poster trope, where in every single movie a poster appears on screen depicting characters inside a movie theater, to breaking the fourth wall frequently, with playful violations of the fourth wall, often with direct audience glances, and its successful use of negative continuity, where characters die out of the blue only to return in the next installment with literally no explanation. Take the look both ways gag, a reoccurring trope where characters are hit by cars or buses, often to end the scene. Now we know Marlon watches anime. Truckoon! Not only this, but jokes are often stretched far beyond their natural lifespan for comedic effect, or what fans coined the overly long gag. There are so many ongoing tropes and classic horror pieces that have been homaged by the series alike that have led it to be the cultural icon it is today. Let's start with their lethally poor decision-making protagonist, Brenda Meeks. Played by Regina Hall, perhaps the most beloved ongoing trope, known for her relatable, over-the-top reactions to the horror unfolding around her. Her character is famous for stealing scenes, such as the infamous movie theater bit, Cindy Campbell's ineptitude, and the stumbling trope. Played by Anna Faris, the ultimate horror fangirl. Yet she often survives through pure luck, or by behaving just as stupidly as the character she's mocking. Standing as the reoccurring anchor for the series, she stumbles into absurd situations as the movies parody popular horror films for the time. Shorty's constant intoxication. Played by Marlon Wayans, Shorty Meeks is almost always high, and his dialogue and scenarios revolve around his inability to comprehend the danger he's in, often treating killers as casual acquaintances or inconvenient interruptions. Even side characters like Gail Hailstorm, played by Sherry O'Terry, an obsessive cutthroat and completely unscrupulous news reporter who will stop at nothing, including staging scenes, manipulating victims, and putting herself in danger to get the scoop or best footage. Directly parodying Courtney Cox's Gail Weathers from the Scream series, O'Terry's portrayal is often cited as the blueprint for horror reporters, and a definitive parody of all news reporters in modern horror movies. All not only carved into the memory of fans, but ingrained into pop culture for the last almost 3 decades. Though, like all parodies, from Weird Al Yankovic to Monty Python, the satirical piece would be nothing if not for the art that it's satire. And seeing as Scary Movie is a franchise of horror comedy parody films known for mocking popular noir, slasher, and thriller movies, it's only fitting that we take a look at the horror that made Scary Movie possible. The original Scary Movie focused primarily on the horror classic Scream, a seminal American slasher film directed by Wes Craven that revitalized the horror genre at the time. By blending intense gore slasher thrills with self-referential satirical commentary on horror conventions. Its meta-commentary, self-aware humor, and a sharp whodunit mystery allowed for countless homages and cultural relevance for decades to come. Set in the town of Woodsboro, following Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, and her friends as they're targeted by the infamous Ghostface. And I'm not talking about the rapper. The first movie also parodies I Know What You Did Last Summer, an American teen slasher film that brought us Benjamin Ben Willis, also known as The Fisherman, or that guy with the hook hand. Scary Movie 2 now parodies haunted house films like The Haunting, a supernatural horror movie following a group of people trapped in a haunted mansion called Hill House, where they're plagued by paranormal forces connected to the home's dark history. Starring Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Owen Wilson, and Lily Taylor. It brought a fairly stacked cast, especially for horror movies at the time. Scary Movie 4 primarily homages movies like Saw, a prominent American horror media franchise centering on John Jigsaw Kramer, who tests victims' will to live through elaborate lethal traps. The series is known for its non-linear storytelling, intense gore, and moral tests, becoming one of the highest-grossing horror franchises with over $1 billion in revenue by just 2009. With all these classic horror movies all bundled into one franchise, with the allure of comedic enticement at its disposal, it's no wonder even if you don't know about Scary Movie at all, you still be catching yourself saying its lines and memes strictly for its cultural relevancy. Since we all know,
I'm gonna tell y'all the rules to survive this situation. Rule number 1, you gotta be quick. Rule number 2, don't fall down. And rule number 3, whatever you do, never look back. Y'all wish me luck.
Shorty Meeks. Introducing them to the classic icon of God.
What's up?
Damn, that's really hard to do. I switch flows like I switch time zone. Can't get no boo, but you can't get milestone. Gotta do mansion, cause I'll go condo. Got a new Maybach, she wanna fuck on a drive home. I'm never washed, but I'm not new. I know I said I'm top 5, but I'm top 2. And I'm not 2 when I got one. Thought you had one, but it's not one. Nah. Just do that, and then let the music do something. Then do that again. That'd be enough for a record. I mean, you only want 2.5 minutes. You can get it, 3 minutes max.